University. Ignorant, we gon' bring that racket like it's Wimbledon. Discipline, but yet to find anyone equivalent. Ain't no podcast similar, now you won't find no synonyms. Be produced by Q Smith, sound like it's by Timberland. JBB in charge, EG set the bar. Cool be sipping water tree, and Turk gon' lay the law. Jokes may go too far, but that's just who we are. Prolific, so gifted, words that have your soul lifted. So consistent, yet so different. Ain't nobody copy that lane. Carry that torch, heat up the game. Ain't nobody got that flame. Different, different. Man, this intro different. Man, this intro ignorant. God damn.
What's good, ladies and gentlemen? You know what day it is, and you know what time it is. Time for another edition, Ren and Stimpy edition of the one and only D1 Ignant University podcast. I am your host with the most eating toast and Ghost J Brown, coming to you semi-live from the first summer edition of the one and only D1 Ignant University podcast from the grandest prairie of them all. To my virtual right, left, whatever way you can tell, is my co-host, my brother from another mother, my man from the Northeast, who has informed me he will be back in the Lone Star State within the next couple weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Play-by-Play himself, Devin Ashby, what's good?
It's almost summertime. In the words of the great Jazzy Jeff and Will Smith, the Fresh Prince, it was, summer, summertime. It's really that time of year. School is almost out, thank baby Jesus. Ooh. And we're just ready to get it going. And let's go. And we're back. We weren't here last week, but we're back.
Look, we here. Don't just be happy that we showed up. I wish I could say, actually, I do have a story for y'all. So for some of y'all in the Lone Star State and the South, we've been getting a lot of rain recently. A lot of rain.
Up here too.
Oh, and last week, I decided to treat myself with Chili's because Scully's apparently never been to a Chili's. Crazy concept.
Actually, it's crazier. I think I made that story up. I've been one time.
You've been. But even then, going to a Chili's one time, that's a crazy concept thing.
It is insane. It is very much insane.
Like, it's a very normal, common, everyday restaurant. Anyway, I went. It was raining hard. I'm thinking, ooh, get to eat my triple dipper, la-dee-da. And the rain said, you thought you were safe from me? And then the ceiling started leaking, and it got all over my triple dipper. But hey, brother got a free meal. I can't be mad.
He can't be mad. He's so happy he told this story twice because he told us this story last week.
They weren't here last week.
2 weeks ago.
They were here 2 weeks ago. Who cares? Anyway, we're going to get into the show because we got time and we got things to do, people to see, and I'm finna go fight an alligator this weekend. I'll explain that later. But anyway, half of the NBA Finals are set. The Cleveland Cavaliers have fallen to the New York Knicks. I hope Trae Young is somewhere hiding and is somewhere safe.
He's probably chilling in Rose Bar.
Scully, is there a place to hide that is safer than the presidential bunker in DC?
I mean, that ain't even safe at this point. Rose Bar, like I said, he up in Rose Bar chilling. He ain't worried about New York.
New York is worried about him. He's Trae Young. He became the most hated person in Knicks history, which is saying a lot.
Yeah, considering it's the city that gave us Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah, but shout out to Mandani, the new mayor of New York, who is a politician that is the definition of if they wanted to, they would.
He told Jeff Bezos go straight to hell. Got that man shook up on TV.
Every rich person in New York, he just said, fuck you.
FIFA, everybody. It's crazy. He getting them all out the paint. He's just proving how ridiculous Democrats actually are. But yeah.
I mean, look, we're not here to say either side is good. Just one is blatantly and clearly a better option than the other.
Is it though?
Yes.
I want better for us.
Remind me how much you paying for gas up there?
About $5 and some change.
I'm sorry, I was not prepared to hear that amount. I'm still crazy that it's up to 4 here.
Oh, it depending on what part of the city I'm in. It's 440, 480. But yeah,
Mm-mm. Too much. Too much. Anyway, we're here to talk about how the New York Knicks are going to the NBA Finals. We don't know who they're going to play just yet because Wemby and the Spurs are in a dogfight with OKC and the Thunder. But I am more here to say, I said it before. I guess we're in the object of repeating stuff on this show. I don't.
fuck it. That's why they tune in. They know what we're gonna say.
Y'all know what it is. I don't want to hear another one of you motherfuckers talk about James Harden in the same sentence as the Flash, as Dwayne Wade. Shut your mouths. You have a 2000 in your birth year. Your opinion means nothing. It's irrelevant. This man had, let me read it off for you just to make sure I get it right. In an elimination game, that was a game 4, by the way. James Harden had 12 points, 2 for 8 from the field, and 0 for 6 from 3.
By the way, and the reason we're singling James Harden out is not necessarily because the whole team was horrible outside of Donovan Mitchell. So it's not like so if anybody asks why we're singling out James Harden, it's specifically because the Cleveland Cavaliers decided for some reason, and not to say that Darius Garland was a better option, but they decided that Darius Garland was not the answer, and they traded him to the LA Clippers for one James Harden, as if he would be the answer to all of their. But I don't know what they saw in James Harden. My guess, and the only guess I can think of, and not to say that this is a good option, but considering Kenny Atkinson's post-game comments, clearly he's not wrapped too tightly. Whatever the analytics said about James Harden's size, because he's like 6'4", playing 2 guard, and I guess they needed a backcourt that could have some size to guard people because you couldn't have 2 small guards that are offensively driven. And so they traded Garland because they're not going to trade Mitchell. And my thing is like, but James Harden, though, it's not like he's ever really been known for defense.
He's never been known for defense. James Harden, in a rough sense, can be considered a point guard. He is good at distributing the ball. But at the end of the day, he's there to score. He's there to score. And I thought we established this throughout his prime and his time in Houston. I thought we established this in that, can we even call that an experiment in Brooklyn?
It's an experiment in the sense that, like, those failed experiments in superhero movies that turn people into Spider-Man and the Incredible Hulk and all these other people. Like the experiments that fail that get you the superhero, that's what it was.
Yeah, and it was so short. That's why I asked. And then he went to Philly, and the process, it processed.
We know how that worked out.
We know how that worked out. James Harden has not been clutch. He has not been good in the playoffs. Damn sure hasn't been good in elimination games in his entire career. And you add him to a Cavaliers team who, no knock on Donovan Mitchell. I love Donovan Mitchell as a guy, as a player. Scully hates him because he's married to Coco Jones. He's an Adidas.
You're damn right. Because you can't have it all. You can't have it all.
Brethren like myself. I thought we established about 2 years ago that Donovan Mitchell cannot be the best player on the championship team. He simply can't. He simply can't. He's not built like that. He can't give you what you need. And then you added a guy who doesn't help.
Here's the problem I have with the Cavaliers. There's a number of problems. First of all, the James Harden thing, that's low-hanging fruit. I need Evan Mobley to come to the front of the room. Evan Mobley has incredible basketball talent. Like anybody that has watched him all the way back to his days at USC knows that this is a talented basketball player, or at least has shown flashes of it. To the point that even a guy like Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's like one of the top 2 or 3 players in the NBA, has said like he's got the type of ability that he could be just as good, if not better than me. He said that out of his mouth.
A
And
slight exaggeration, yes, but still a compliment.
but the point is still getting across that like this is like you said, he's exaggerating obviously, but like the point is this dude is good. The Cavaliers have been so he's just been so like it's the same thing I personally have said about Paolo, where it's like he just takes nights off. Like it's the weirdest. Like he had some incredible games throughout the playoff runs, but then at the same time, like it felt like empty calories sometimes. And then he just disappeared, obviously, throughout the entire series against the Knicks. And nobody could guard Karl Anthony Towns, which is insane.
And crazy.
But it's just weird. Him and Jared Allen, like the whole Twin Towers thing. Like the Cavs are built for regular season, and then they get to the and it's just so weird because they've looked terrible the whole playoffs. Like really, if you're being honest, they probably should not have been in the conference finals. Like they looked horrible in round one. I can't even remember who it was they played.
I want to say the Hawks.
The Knicks. That was the Knicks. The Knicks played the Hawks.
Knicks? Then who did?
The Raptors.
The Raptors.
They looked horrible against Toronto. They looked horrible for stretches against the who was it? The Pistons. Like the Pistons should have beaten them. It was letting them get to a game 7 against them. They should have lost to the Pistons, but the Pistons just folded in game 7. And then
the Pistons just weren't enough. And on top of all that, are we gonna pretend like the Cavs did not blow a 22-point lead?
Exactly. Like they've looked awful for long stretches of the playoffs, and then just so inconsistent. It's so wildly inconsistent from one game to another, and it just all came to a head against the Knicks, who, by the way, we haven't said nearly enough about the Knicks themselves. Those of us who were not alive in 1999, most of us have only known
the horrible,
like I mean, the lovable losers.
New York Knicks.
The lovable losers. I'm talking like their peak was Linsanity, which is not a bad peak by any stretch, but like that was the peak of New York Knicks fandom for much of the 2010s. Was Jeremy Lin for like a stretch of like 50 games. And Carmelo Anthony did some things here and there. But like I mean, if you look at some of the lineups that they would put out on the floor,
Kurt Thomas,
Pablo Prigioni, a 37-year-old rookie starting basketball games. Like Timofey Mozgov, Wash DeAndre Jordan.
The experiment that was Kristaps Porzingis,
which could have worked, but Phil Jackson was a war criminal anytime he's outside of the city of LA or Chicago. And then you had like they dragged Dennis Smith, not Frank Nikitalina out there. Some horrible. I mean, some of the worst lineups you'll ever see.
They used Nate Robinson basically as a commodity. They used him as a circus. Say, right. Little guy can jump.
And their fans stayed loyal through it all. They stayed loyal through it all. Would show up to Madison Square Garden. I mean, James Dolan was out here fighting fans, essentially. Like, he was banning. Fans were showing up with posters, and his bitch ass was banning them from the arena. Like, it was just awful. It was awful. At one point, the Brooklyn Nets. At one point, like, yeah.
The Knicks are the Dallas Cowboys of basketball.
They really are.
They're probably the second most popular franchise. I think we can all agree it's probably the Lakers.
Yep.
They're probably the second most popular franchise. They had a heyday. They are a historic franchise that has been around forever. They have the mystique of the city of New York and New York basketball, which is considered the mecca of basketball. However you feel about that is whatever, but that's what it's considered. The Knicks are simply
with an incredible arena, because Madison Square Garden,
with a historic, amazing arena that is the Garden.
Yep,
They
got all of that.
And then they're actively trying to put themselves in relevancy because every time a major free agent pops up with slight availability, where are the three places that they are instantly rumored to go to?
Lakers, Knicks,
Lakers, Heat.
and I don't even know the third one,
The Lakers, Knicks, Heat.
honestly, because even Boston doesn't get the attention that the Knicks and Lakers do.
No,
With all the titles they've won, and they still don't get it the way the Knicks and Lakers do.
well, the difference is Boston is more known for homegrown talent, I guess.
Yeah, they're
Besides,
more of a
besides their big
Boston.
three era, like pretty much all the Boston greats were made in Boston.
Right. But yeah, the Knicks. The thing with the Knicks and now it's like they finally, after all this time, I mean, their fans are insane, honestly, and I am scared for the city of New York whether they win or lose, because especially if they win, there may not be a city in New York anymore.
No, it's just like Philly, but I think worse.
It's way worse than Philly. Philly is like that for football, but if the Sixers win, I don't think they'll care like that. Well, actually, I lied.
I think the process has made them so numb to basketball that Flyers, Eagles, absolutely, they're destroying the city. Sixers, it's like, eh.
The Sixers, they might destroy the city as well. The Phillies, pretty much Philadelphia, like you said, is essentially New York South.
Slightly.
I mean, they share a bridge. The New Jersey Turnpike, you got to get across it to go either to Philly or to
really?
New York, New Jersey.
The southernness in me did not know that.
Like South Philly is just New Jersey.
Again, the southernness in me did not know that geography lesson.
Yeah, and the only reason I know that is because I had to go across that. I hate the New Jersey Turnpike to this day. It is if I never have to go across the New Jersey Turnpike ever again, I would be a happy man.
Was that during your Best Buy days?
No.
Oh, that was just going days.
I just hate the New Jersey Turnpike. When I would travel from Connecticut to get home, or when I would go from home to get to Connecticut, I had to go across the New Jersey Turnpike. I hate it.
Hey, that's fair.
Because it's so long and endless and just, I hate it so much. And plus, it's just connected to a bunch of bad memories because it's just, I hated Connecticut. And then obviously my ex lived in Jersey. So like I would have to go through the Turnpike to get to see her. So it's just not a good part of my life.
A Northeast love horror story.
Yep.
But now we'll take you from the East and we'll go back West to make you feel better. The Thunder and the Spurs are just a heavyweight matchup, throwing haymaker after haymaker at each other. But I'm here to talk about the guy who can't take the hit. One of my friends, Eric, sent me a message earlier today that said he doesn't think SGA's flopping is as bad as people want to give him credit for. I want to get your take on that. How did you feel about that?
I feel slightly like I would agree, and only because one, I don't pay enough attention to it. Like I see it, but I'm like, SGA is not nearly as bad as some of the people we grew up on. Like they made rules to stop James Harden.
That's one of the things that I said. Like, does he flop? Yes, but we're not going to pretend like
he is nowhere near the range of James Harden or Trae Young for that matter.
Yeah, we're not going to pretend like we haven't seen worse.
We have seen rules prevent, and that's what made it so confusing when I'm seeing all this, because I'm like, we made rules for this not even 10 years ago. Actually, it probably was 10 years ago.
At this point, I think Rockets' prime James Harden was probably about 10 years ago.
That was about 10 years ago that we made rules specifically for James Harden's egregious flopping. And so that's why I'm like, y'all have not, I don't think y'all have any idea what a true flopping merchant really is. That being said, does he get a couple questionable whistles? Sure. What superstar doesn't?
See, but what I told him
besides maybe LeBron. LeBron's the only one that's like, I don't think he's ever gotten a bad whistle.
I told him, I agree with you. We've seen worse, and Shea isn't that bad. I think his gets amplified by his whole team flops, and then bitches and moans when they don't get the call, the coach included.
And I also think his flopping is worse because they are allowed when they're on defense to just abuse people. Like Oklahoma City's defense is one of the more physical defenses in the NBA. They were like one of the top defenses in the NBA because of their physicality. And I think a lot of people are like, why doesn't that whistle go both ways? And then I've seen like the compilations people put together. But even SGA himself made the point that like, bro, people didn't care I was doing this when we were losing.
Yeah. Winning solves all problems and it brings all the criticism.
And it creates new ones as well. It's what Biggie say, the more money we come around, the more problems we see. That's what it feels like this is. Now, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's not some egregious foul baiting at times, because I've seen enough games now that I get it. But then the other part of me is like, yo, he's not the only one out here doing this. This is the style of the NBA now, is guys go to the cup looking to get fouled as opposed to
finishing.
Like we've been screaming about it with Luka for the last 4 years now.
Yep, another one who's
complaining to the refs after every play. Like,
and you know what I think it's more predominant in your below the rims and your less athletic guys.
Yeah.
Like SGA can dunk, obviously. He's 6'6". I hope he can dunk. But
he doesn't need to though. Yeah.
No one is sitting there pretending like SGA is finna jump out the gym compared to other NBA athletes. Let's not. We're not comparing SGA to like Giannis. We're not comparing SGA to Jalen Duren. We're not comparing SGA to LeBron. This isn't the Scalabrini challenge. We know SGA is way more athletic than Joe Schmo walking down the street.
Right.
But SGA, by NBA standards, he's not super athletic. By NBA standards, Luka's not athletic. By NBA standards, neither is James Harden. Neither is Trae Young. So I think that's where we see like the egregious foul baiting. Now, there's guys who draw fouls and look for contact. Wade was great at it. Kobe was great at it. T-Mac was great at it. But when in doubt, they would rather dunk on you than get the foul.
And I think Wade's was different because Wade had that punt fake that was insane that people kept falling for. And he would go to it. It wasn't like, hey, and when he went to the rim, he was going to that damn rim. It wasn't like he wasn't looking for.
No, he wasn't looking for anything else. But Wade's punt fake was stop jumping.
Yes.
Stop. I'm at the elbow. I'm at the free throw line. Stop jumping. I'm gonna pump fake.
Which I'm like, Wade, in today's NBA, I don't think that would work because people don't shoot mid-range jumpers anymore. So like if you're punt faking inside the paint, ain't nobody going. Well, I take that back because Embiid is good at that too. But he's a big man, so I guess that's different.
Embiid is an exception to a lot of rules.
Like most guards are not punt faking inside of if he does that behind the 3-point line, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. But most guards aren't getting to the mid-range and even attempting.
Right. In today's analytical NBA.
But that's just me. That's how I felt about the whole flopping and da-da-da-da situation. I feel some balance to it. I get it. I see why you're upset. But also, personally, if it was me out there, if we gonna flop, this the playoffs. I got 5 dudes at the end of the bench who are not gonna play. You got 6 fouls. If they gonna bait them, if they gonna flop, we might as well really foul them.
Plus, like you said, it's the playoffs. Like, ain't nobody trying to hear on that.
No,
if you're losing games, it's not because SGA is flopping.
You're not. If you're losing games, it's because you're just not playing that well. There's not a whole lot to talk about between the Thunder and the Spurs other than it's a dogfight. The Spurs are worrying me because they did lose game 5 and they're moving on to San Antonio for game 6. The Thunder have been taking care of business without Jalen Williams, without J-Dub. I think they're playing better without him. I don't know.
Yeah, because Jared McCain, because the Philadelphia 76ers front office is a bunch of idiots.
Maybe they didn't like the TikTok. Maybe they didn't like the painted nails. But you know what they would like? the
To
ball
have
going.
him back.
They would love to have him back.
My
But hey,
thing is the series to me. I'm looking at finals matchups because I think this is going 7. Like the Spurs aren't losing at home. Um, I'm trying to think who matches up better with the Knicks. I feel like Oklahoma City matchup wise, like them and the Knicks are like the exact same team to me. But the Spurs are like interesting because I'm like, even if they beat Oklahoma City, do they have enough?
no, and I'm not
Like,
letting.
because I feel like that the guy, like Wemby's ready, but the guys around him still feel like they're like a year or two away.
See, I feel like the guys around him, guys like Castle, they play hard, but they don't always get the results they want from playing hard.
Yeah, Castle, Harper, and then they just still development wise don't feel like they're on Wemby's level yet. And I don't know if that'll be. I don't know. Wemby cannot go 1-on-5 with the Knicks.
Yeah, but you know what? This is an unpopular opinion that people don't like listening to me about, but I still say this: don't let positionless basketball fool you.
Nope. The
Basketball,
playoffs exposes it every time.
it does. Basketball is still a tall man's game. It is now, was in the past, and will always be in the future. And Jalen Brunson cannot lead you to the promised land. Not a knock against him. I love his game. I think he's a cool guy. He's too small. We can count on probably both of our fingers the number of times that the best player on a championship team has been under 6'4", 6'5". Steph, cool. Steph just happens to be the greatest shooter that the NBA has ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Russ.
Pistons Isaiah Thomas, who is roughly 6'2"-ish. Cool. Just another top 50, top 30 guy in NBA history. Great. Other than that, maybe Tony Parker towards the later runs of those Spurs teams. But now you can still argue Kawhi might have been the best player. Tim Duncan was still there, and so was Manu. So you can argue Tony Parker. I wouldn't, whatever you want to put there. Who
Yeah,
else?
it's tough. It's tough. And it's
You
going to be
can't.
even tougher now because the guys are only getting taller now.
Your guys are only getting taller, and Dame has this problem because Dame is great, but he's not as good as Steph. Dame has this problem of getting his shot up above taller guys. He has to work harder because, again, Dame, not the most athletic by NBA standards, and he's short, also by NBA standards. Brunson, too. Brunson has to work really hard to get his shot off above guys who are, quote unquote, kind of small for the NBA because 6'3", 6'4", that makes you kind of small, but that's
But I
bigger.
think the thing that makes the Knicks dangerous this year is that Brunson doesn't have to work as hard because the Knicks offense has been incredible. Like OG Anunoby and Karl Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges have been
Have been
excellent
and
throughout the playoffs.
in history will not allow me to depend on Karl Anthony Towns. It simply won't. I'm not letting Karl Anthony Towns be my X factor of are we gonna win? OG Anunoby, cool. You know, we love Josh Hart's crackhead ass. He's cost me money on my parlays, but I can only respect. I have nothing but respect for a man that plays that hard.
Yeah.
Every night. I can't do anything but respect Josh Hart.
But I think, yeah,
I don't think
Knicks
they have enough no matter who they match up with.
the Knicks match up well with the Thunder. And I think if the Spurs get there, even with Wemby, I think the Knicks are probably better on paper than them. But they match up well. The Thunder series could be just as good as last year's, if not better, if the Thunder and Knicks play. It'll be another 7-game finals.
Well, we'll see. By the posting of this episode, it will be time for Game 6. But we're going to move on to another concept that I thought about. I thought was funny today. You know, how I explain the show. Sports, pop culture, whatever the hell I think is funny that day. Which cartoon characters do you think you personally could beat in a fight? Some of these are absolute hell no's, but I just want to see where your mind is at. Scully. Do you think you could beat Bugs Bunny in a fight?
Hell no.
And that's the correct answer, ladies and gentlemen.
Because the thing is that it wouldn't even be a fight. He would play some reverse psychology on me and somehow get me to start beating myself up. He would say something stupid and then I'm looking around, or he'd dress up as a woman in boots and shorts and a cowboy hat,
Yeah.
or he would, I don't know, because Bugs, bro. We've seen. I don't know how he keeps doing it.
And he's willing to go to the ends of the earth. He's willing to take it places that no one is prepared to go. But
like he'd be sitting right next to me, like, "Hey, dude, who you getting ready to fight?" And I'd be like, "About to fight this rabbit," and he's like, "Ah, gee," and then I don't know how he keeps doing it.
I don't see any rabbits around here. I heard you should go fight that bear.
You know what? You're right. And here I go fighting a bear, and I'm getting my ass whooped.
Yeah, that's 2 ass whoopings.
It's just like, what? If nobody can beat Bugs Bunny. They've all tried for the last 50 years, and it hasn't worked.
And it's never gonna work.
Right.
All right. Next on our list, this one is a bit controversial. I just wanted to see how it would work. Jimmy Neutron.
I could beat him if he doesn't have prep. I could beat him the first time, and then he's going to have a brain blast, and he'll figure out how to beat me the next time. But I could beat him on the first try.
We're applying Batman rules to Jimmy Neutron.
Because it's the answer. Like, you've seen it.
It is, because let's remember, I think
nigga, the first try, he'll get his ass whooped a few times, and then he'll go down to his little reclusive man cave and come up with some invention, and then the invention will have him win, but then it'll backfire, and then he'll have a brain blast. And then he'll get beat up again, but he's like, well, at least I'm getting beat up myself instead of with my invention. Every episode.
See, Jimmy, I think we can't forget. Jimmy's in like 4th grade.
4th grade. Exactly.
And he gets teased for being short, so he's not a big dude.
He's just got a big head.
Just got a big head. Without his hair, Cindy is taller.
Remember the Jimmy Timmy crossover? The reason it worked is because they both have the same issue. Because Timmy Turner's the same way. But anyway, Jimmy Neutron.
If you weren't there for the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour, you're probably too young to be listening.
You're probably too young to be listening to this show. But my being said, I could beat Jimmy Neutron in a fight. It depends on how many chances. The first 2, I beat him. 3rd, he's going to whoop my ass with some invention.
Some invention. The 3rd one, okay. This one is another toss-up, depending on who the person is, how you feeling about it. SpongeBob.
Yes.
See, I'm not fighting SpongeBob.
The thing is, we saw what happened. What was the guy's name? I'm gonna kick your butt.
And he punched him, and SpongeBob felt nothing. It tickled.
Right. But then there's the other guy, the Strangler or whatever, who never even got the chance because SpongeBob just aggravated him so badly that he just basically died. And then on the flip side,
I mean,
SpongeBob, Sandy whooped his ass.
But do you know karate to the level of Sandy Cheeks?
SpongeBob does, which is why they have legendary battles. But then at the same time, Doodlebob terrorized him.
Doodlebob terrorized everybody.
So it depends on what version. It depends on which villain comes at him, because different villains, like we said, the bully couldn't beat him. The Strangler died of exhaustion, and Sandy and him kind of have a pretty decent back and forth, except for when she's angry.
So when she's looking for Pinhead Larry.
Right. Or when she's angry. When he talks about Texas, that's when she gets locked in.
Agreed.
Which, by the way, I learned that y'all Texans really take Texas seriously, because I was at a party on Memorial Day, and a friend of mine who's from Texas, and we were doing like a game night, and we were doing like a debate thing, and then he got to talking about Texas, and then this other girl came in here and was like, just started airing Texas out, and he was like ready to fight. So I'm like, y'all Texas folks take it serious.
If you ever wondered what you see online, is it true? Is it real? Is it hyperbole? We are not kidding. We take this Texas shit serious.
Take it very serious.
Look, I've never
even your friend, when I mentioned Texas is kind of a cult, and she's like, "Hey, don't say that." was like, my bad.
That's because we're in the cult. We are indoctrinated. We are deep in the thing. I am up here in the cult. I am this tall into the cult. I said it. We know.
As long as you recognize it. As long as you recognize it.
Look,
you know, and I can understand being down there. I can understand it now. Like I didn't understand it until I went down and saw it. I'm like, I get it. If I moved down here, I'd probably be in it too.
I've never seen anyone with a Louisiana tattoo. I've never seen a Florida tattoo. I've never seen a New York State tattoo. I've seen a New York City. That's different. I've never seen a Cali tattoo. I've seen an LA, not a Cali.
The closest thing, and this ain't even really that close, but in Maryland, the whole flag thing that we got going on.
See, that's why you understand us. Like how y'all feel about the flag specifically, it's just how we feel about the whole state.
Which was so funny because a couple of your friends, when I told them, and they were like, they had never even seen the Maryland flag. And I was like, for real? Because it's really a big deal up here.
How do you miss the flag? Because
it's like the one flag anybody cares about.
Like once you see the flag, you're like,
the colors and everything, like and the little stupid crab thing, like
Y'all put that on the pole? Yes. Yeah. And you put fat.
We do.
Cool. So you put fat bitches on the pole. So what are we doing here?
What are we doing?
Okay, we have one more. This one, another controversial. I think we can make it. Aang, but no airbending. See what I mean?
No, I don't, because the answer is still no.
No, I don't.
What are you talking about? No, because then have we seen him without airbending? I didn't watch Legend of Korra like that, so I don't know if he was like that.
Dead in Legend of Korra.
Oh well, no airbending.
You can't have Korra if Aang is still alive.
That's true. Okay, I have never seen him without his airbending. I've seen him without the Avatar state, but I've never seen him without his airbending.
See, I say without the airbending because you just got to think about what bending is, like how it looks. Water bending is, you're flowy and you're doing all these motions. None of them are like direct hands because water is indirect. That's how it works. The direct elements are earth because they physically punch stuff to use, earth bending.
Mm-hmm.
Fire is the same way.
Right, they can shoot flames. But
air, they're kind of going out of their way to avoid you.
I was about to say, like, what do we consider part of his airbending arsenal? Because, like, if he's flying with his glider, do you need airbending for that?
Yes, gliding is airbending.
Okay. Is he airbending when he's doing, like, all the flipping and the... Yes, he is.
It's helping. Like, you still got to be athletic and acrobatic enough to do it, but the airbending is 100% helping.
Because I was about to say, all of his dodging and ducking and stuff requires, to a degree, his airbending. So I'm like... But he's still a monk, so.
But his monks are specifically non-violent, and so because of airbending, they're not big on hand-to-hand combat.
Now, remember when he was hiding in the Fire Nation, and remember when he was in the school, and the kid wanted to fight him for talking to his girl, and he just kept politely moving out the way, and he didn't use airbending for that.
True, but also remember, Aang is 12.
And he is 12. That's the other part of it. That's the other part of the equation.
Can we
12-year-olds?
12-year-old. I think we can.
12-year-olds that grew up in a genocidal war is a little different because they're men already.
I mean, but he slept through 99% of the war. He was only awake for the last year and some change.
Yeah, not on purpose. Remember, because he did some 12-year-old shit trying to fly through a storm.
Again, we're whooping the 12-year-old. There's a lot of child violence on this show today.
Because fuck them kids. That's why. Kids. Summer is almost here. There's a reason. We're educators.
Who cares?
Anyway. Yeah. I would say without his airbending, I don't know. But without his airbending, I think we have at least a chance without his airbending.
Because
with it, none.
Because with airbending, he might as well be Bugs Bunny. We don't have a shot.
Do y'all realize? And I didn't, because I'm rewatching Avatar again now, because it's my comfort show, so I watch it every couple of months. The entirety of Team Avatar, and to a lesser extent Zula's little posse or whatever you want to call them, these were children packing up adults constantly, just going around the world handing out naps.
Nobody old enough to vote.
Azula and her girls were packing up the most lethal, powerful earthbending force. A force that her father, who is a decorated war criminal, could not beat. And she walked in with some makeup and a fan and took down the Earth Kingdom at 15.
She is a firebending prodigy. Like,
at
she
15
is.
years old. At 15 years old.
Because Zuko is 17 and Zuko's older.
Zuko's 17, she's 15. Aang is 12, Katara is like 14, Sokka's 15. They were kids packing up grown adults on a regular basis.
I think Toph was 12 too.
Toph was 12, taken down and blind. 12 and blind. And was just packing niggas up.
At least the rest of Team Avatar, they caught the grown folks by surprise. Let's not forget, Toph was in underground wrestling matches with grown buff men who knew she was a child, did not take it easy on her.
Not even a little bit.
And took L's.
Took L's on purpose, not like diving. They took L's.
And like, she had a championship belt for a reason.
She had a championship belt. Aang watched, he was the last of his kind, and he watched all his people die. This man, even without the Avatar state, was packing niggas up.
But Aang,
packing niggas up, bro.
People forget, because Aang was the only airbender we ever saw. Aang also was a airbending master at 12. Because every airbender don't get the tattoos. You only get the tattoos once you are a certified master.
Yeah. He and people think because he was a pacifist that he was a pussy. No.
They just both start with the letter P. They are not the same.
And don't let you have kidnapped Appa.
He was ready to risk it all. Appa left. He's like, oh, it's crash out time.
It's like that. I don't know if you've seen the dude on Instagram, but he does the videos and he's like, you're a villain and you're fighting this hero, and he's like going through the list. He's like, yeah, we're ready to fight him, and it's always like the worst thing. Like they were like, oh, so you packed the Avatar up? Yeah, I took Appa. What?
You did a what?
Yeah. He was talking something about some buffalo. No, tell me you did not. Yeah. No, you didn't. It's a whole thing. I'm like, bro, do not ever.
While we're talking about funny violence, we do have to talk about stupid violence, because Green Bay Packers running back Josh Jacobs has been arrested for a domestic violence dispute involving strangulation, suffocation, and other things. But he has not been formally charged yet. Why we keep your hands off these white women?
What's going on, bro? Especially in the NFL. Like, the James Pierce stuff was crazy enough. And obviously nothing happened with that. And now we have this Josh Jacobs thing. And it's just like, my brothers in Christ, can we keep our hands to ourselves? Please.
Yeah. If you don't take one moment serious from us, from the Ignant fam, stop putting your hands on people. Stop putting your hands on women. Stop putting your hands on your dog. Stop putting your hands on your cat, unless they personally square up with you. Which
cats will fight you first.
In that case, they personally square up with you. Handle your business. But stop hitting people. Stop strangling. First of all, when do you strangle a person and think it's going to end well? This is not The Simpsons.
This isn't The Simpsons.
You are not Homer.
This is ridiculous.
And you're in Wisconsin?
In Green Bay, specifically.
First of all, a black man in Wisconsin outside of the city of Milwaukee is a crazy concept in general. The fact that there are black people in Milwaukee is also a crazy thing in general. But I've learned they get down for real in Milwaukee. I was
going to say, Milwaukee is the most segregated city in America. Like, it's up like Milwaukee, Chicago, Detroit. They're some of the most segregated cities.
Oh, absolutely. They segregate me from that temperature every time it comes because I don't want
Exactly.
no problems with it.
There's a reason he's only been to Chicago one time, and it was in August.
And it was in August. Hey, Chicago, y'all are beautiful.
Y'all will never see me in December ever.
After September, you ain't never gonna see me.
You will never see me if it's October is pushing it. September kind of sort of is pushing it too. You will never see me after October.
Because y'all got that lake, I know it gets cold way faster than it should. So
it's the hawk, it's the wind that beats off of they call it the Windy City for a reason, but it's all of them over there because Detroit is just the same way. It's that wind coming off the Great Lakes. It's disgusting.
That wind beats you like an NFL player,
like Josh Jacobs.
Why cold weather? First, Mr. Sam, why does cold weather bother me?
Have you been cold? Have you met cold weather?
Have you felt cold weather?
And you just experienced it in Texas. You ain't been up here to these northern parts up here.
And I don't want to. I'm southern. Give me heat.
Let me tell you a story. So in 2009, Maryland went through one of the most brutal winters I think I've ever been a part of. 55 inches of snow.
That's taller than Devin Singletary.
No, combined throughout the whole winter. 55 inches of snow. It's a record to this day. It hasn't been broken yet. There has not been a winter we've had that has come close. Actually, maybe 2014 was the closest. 55 inches of snow. You don't think and that probably wasn't even nearly as bad as what they were dealing with up in the y'all don't think y'all don't know cold. It's the same way y'all feel about heat is the way we feel about cold.
Look, like I said, Miami heat, Latino heat. The cold can take a hike. Look at all that. I'd rather have my balls sweating than my balls freeze off.
It's fucking exactly.
I don't want to hear it. But we made a lot of jokes during this segment. Keep your hands to yourself. Stop hitting people. Stop being stupid. You're a millionaire. You play football for a living. Stop risking it because you get mad.
Because you can't control your temper.
Go punch a wall. Go join a boxing gym. Go punch one of them.
Or use it on the field. Run over. If you don't hit somebody, hit the defender in front of you.
Go run over someone on the practice squad. They're literally a crash dummy anyway. By the way, if any NFL team would like to sign me to a practice squad, be a crash dummy.
Stop it.
Hey, you want to go back to work with them kids?
If anybody is looking for
crash dummies. Anyway, we're going to move on to our final segment of the night because we're tired of this bullshit, but we're going to keep doing it because the SEC State of the Union address was happening earlier this week, and our favorite member, one of our favorites, Mr. Kirby Smart, had a nice quote. If we can't find rules that everyone plays by, then we should play by our own. That's Kirby Smart saying that the SEC probably should leave the NCAA. And I have never seen more entitlement from a conference nut riding 2 to 3 programs.
It's the most lack of self-awareness. It's the most narcissistic, self-obsessed. Like, the SEC is so just like,
why? And no other conference has ever acted like this, but magically they just assume they're better.
What is it about Southern? And this is no shot to you specifically. This is just, what is it about Southern states and seceding from unions? What is the problem?
Why
with y'all always wanting to secede from shit?
We always want to leave some shit.
Always want to leave some shit. What is up with that?
Because you're no one is bigger than the program.
No one is bigger than the program. Like, this is, and my thing is, Kirby Smart has said a lot of things, and it's just hilarious. Like when he's apparently in support of an all SEC playoff, and I'm like, I bet you would be, Kirby, considering Notre Dame handed you your ass the last time y'all played a non-SEC team in the playoffs. I bet y'all would be wanting to just be, oh yeah, we just okay, like yo, shut the hell up,
I
shut
just
up,
want to know where this level of delusion
comes from.
and unified delusion, because like
You
it's the whole conference from Vandy to Arkansas to Kentucky. First of all, Kentucky, you're a basketball school.
you're a basketball
You're
school.
not even in the conversation.
Like
Shut up.
this is the thing. The Big Ten is like you can say a lot of things about the Big Ten, but you can't say they're delusional. I mean, Ohio State and Michigan, you don't see Penn State and Indiana bragging on the success of Ohio State and Michigan. But Vanderbilt and Arkansas be out here doing tricks on it when it's time to talk about Alabama and Georgia. And it's so weird.
When Rutgers isn't there cheering Big Ten when they went 4-8, didn't qualify for a bowl.
Exactly. They
Ohio,
sit down and shut the hell up and do what they do over there in Rutgers.
and I dare anyone to try to argue against us when USC was dominating on their early 2000s run, and Oregon was still trying to get over the hump and beat Stanford. The Pac-12 wasn't saying we the best. Oregon State wasn't out here beating their chest. Arizona wasn't saying we here what's up. No, only the SEC. Only
You do not see Wake Forest bragging on Duke in the ACC. You just don't see it.
never.
It never happens.
Texas is not cheering on Oklahoma, Big 12 when they were there.
And if they do, somebody is clearly being kidnapped.
So it is a cry and scream for help.
There is an emergency among us.
It's not supposed to happen. And now only the SEC is saying maybe we should leave. And you know what? I will blame the SEC for all of this alignment bullshit. Do I have a part to play in this? Absolutely. Texas has no business in the SEC historically. I mean, I guess geographically,
And then also in terms of self righteousness, I think Texas fits in well with that.
It fits in perfectly. But
like
you know,
Texas, the reason that there was a Longhorn network, the reason that Texas A&M left is because Texas wanted their own network, and A&M said, no, the fuck you don't. And we don't want no part of this. And so we're going to go to the SEC. And then Texas said, you could not live with your own failure. And where did that lead you?
you back.
That to me.
And look, I agree. Texas has a huge self-image issue because they're Texas. But you know what? As a historic program, they've earned it.
You see Steve Sarkisian been talking big this summer. He been throwing shots at everybody. He said niggas in Mississippi can't read.
He's not wrong.
He might as well have said that, but essentially what he said was our grades matter here. And then he was talking shit about Texas Tech, which they deserve it. But
Texas Tech, simmer down. You're not involved in this. And
Sarkisian been talking big shit this summer. I love it.
Sark is gonna talk his shit. I'm not.
I hope and pray that Archie Manning lead them boys to the promised land, because if they don't, the internet won't forget.
I saw a talk show earlier last week talking about if Sark doesn't win this year, did they underachieve during the Arch Manning era? I'm like, why are we pretending like this man is Tim Tebow? Why are we pretending like this man is Vince Young? If we underachieve during the Arch Manning era, it's because Arch Manning's not that good.
Exactly. Just because y'all built him up because he's a Manning.
Which I stand by. He's still not that good. Will I give him that he improved a lot towards the end of the year and he had a damn good bowl game? Absolutely. I can admit that. I don't want Arch to be trash, but mind you, I said 4 years ago, I didn't want the kid. I said it. I stand on it. I said I didn't want the kid. I've seen the competition he plays against in Louisiana. It looks like he's playing against kids. But his name is Manning.
Well, he was. They were in high school.
You know what the fuck I mean. Shut up. His name is Manning, and the world loves him for it. And okay, the Mannings are football royalty. We know that. Fine. He hasn't lived up to the expectations. Were the expectations stupid high, and did he deserve to have those level of expectations? No, nobody does. But that's not. I'm not going to use that as a crutch to say the kid was that good. I'm not. But anyway, the SEC it's
and it runs from the top down because even their commissioner is so good at his job, and that's what makes it so angry. He's annoying. He's just Greg Sankey is a whole ass nigga. Just you look up bitch ass nigga in the dictionary and you see Greg Sankey's face, but that's because he's just so good at his job, and that's what makes it so aggravating.
But all of this stems back from the original problem. They don't want to pay the players.
At least not to the level that they should be.
Well, all this comes from they want to control how much the players can make. And I'm not formally against that. But the difference is every other pro league, because college football is a pro league, let's not water this down.
Let's not beat a dead horse. Let's not beat around the bush. Yeah.
It is a pro league. Every other pro league has a union and lawyers to negotiate with them. The SEC and the rest of college football is getting this pushback because they're trying to determine how much they should get paid without the players' consent, without the players even coming close to getting a word in. I'm like,
yeah, he saw that bullshit farce of a round table that Donald Trump had. And you notice who was missing? Current players. They added some former ones.
Like
current players.
We all love Reggie, and it was great that Reggie got his Heisman back. This shit is not Reggie's problem right now.
Right. And my thing is like you said, they really don't want to put even with this current system now, they're really just leaving it up to boosters and collectives and other corporations to pay the play. Like the schools are only doing it because they legally were told to.
Yes.
The rest of them, because just the setup of it is just nasty.
And then some of them are pissed because some schools have different resources and better locations than the other. I remember, I think it was 2 seasons ago, the rest of the SEC was pissed at Texas because Austin was a better location to give them better NIL deals. We're like, whoa. Didn't no one tell you to put your university in Starksville, Mississippi?
And I'm like, bro, how do y'all think we as HBCUs have felt for years? Y'all are a bunch of rich people problems.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Alabama. Oh, poor Alabama. Somebody please think of Alabama. Like, shut the fuck up.
If your budget for one sport is $40 million, we don't care about your problems.
Alabama, like y'all think me.
I think the entire athletic budget for every sport at Prairie View A&M might be $40 million.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm being real generous with that might, that 40.
Mm-hmm.
So personally, I don't give a fuck about your problems.
Don't give a damn.
Pay the kids, give them representation. And you know what? All of this wouldn't be such a big deal except because the NCAA tried to make them slaves for the last 100 or so years. Anytime they bring up a resolution that does semi make sense, Congress is like, nah.
And they keep trying to wait for Congress to fix it. That's the other part of it. And Congress is like, no, you made this mess. No. You fix it. We're not doing it.
But also,
leave us alone. Leave us out of it.
Since the steroid era in baseball, why the hell is Congress involved in sports?
Exactly. What the hell do I care? Why are we having committee meetings about Lenore Sellers making NIL money with Raising Cane's? Like,
I remember Roger Clemens having to talk to the Supreme Court. I'm like, whoa,
what the fuck? Like 10 years ago, I'm like, oh yeah, this is big, and now I'm like, nigga, they're bombing Iran. Like it's bigger. The fucking Epstein files. Like what?
Have been left behind. And you're worried that this man took a drug to throw a ball hard?
Gas is $6 an hour, Nick. I mean, $6 a gallon, nigga. Why do I care about NIL money
Why do I give a fuck if
that I'm not getting a piece of?
that has nothing to do with anything?
Nothing to do with me. About these 18-year-old kids are richer than I will ever imagine
From
before they've ever played a down of anything.
let the kids make their money. Quit your bitching. Politics belong in sports, but not at the congressional nor the Supreme Court level.
Sports are inherently political, but this is not what we mean when we say that.
That is nowhere close to what we meant. So, Scully, give your final thoughts so we can end the show without the bullshit.
Final thoughts. Well, it's too late. There's bullshit.
Nah.
Final thoughts is that again, shout out to the people in New York. Y'all have waited a long time for this, and some of y'all have waited longer than others, but you guys are back, and maybe this time you'll win one because they didn't win one in '99.
They did,
but it's good. Shout out to the city of New York. Yeah, this finals is going to be insane regardless of who comes out. But as far as I'm concerned, the Western Conference Finals is the finals at first. But now I actually feel like the Knicks could win depending on who gets out of it. So
and I do not. I believe the Western Conference Finals is the NBA Finals.
Yep.
It's almost Juneteenth time in Texas, Milwaukee, or whatever the hell it is that you celebrate. I believe it should stay within the borders of Texas. But hey, who am I to tell people what they can't celebrate? Anyway, Juneteenth time. Come holla at your boy. June 11th, 12th, and 13th. We out here in the grandest prairie of them all. If you see me, stop me. Tell me what's up. If you talk about my Chargers, we can fight there. So, like I love to say at the end of every episode, keep learning, keep living, keep loving. JJ not here, so I'm going to hit the button. We out.